of righteousness for him namesake. Yea, though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because I never fear no Babylon. For thou art with ire, thy rod and thy staff them comforted ire. Who prepare the table before I, in the presence of our enemy them, who anointed I head with no oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, I go follow I all the days of our life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God, Jah. His foundation is in the holy mountain. The Lord God Jah loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of thee, O city of Jasila. I'll make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. Behold, Philistia entire with Ethiopia. This man was Bandir Sila, as well as the singer man them and the player man them, but instrument them. All of them I go there, and all I spring them I go there to Jah. Baba Janai I Sata Ruba I have Ethiopia Tanaka Oh Lekaya Shukulata by Ethiopia who liquor light by day, liquor darkness by night. What Jah take away from the wise and the prudent, him refuse to little babe and the suckling. Not even the dog we are peace upon the walls of Babylon. Ever I go escape judgment in this time where twos and threes meet in the name of the most I Jah and that's so Jah there. If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way if Jah never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but joy shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I says unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Amasa Yahuda, Amasa Negusto, Negusto, Daniel Ama, Komaya Sataya. I manna pio aya. Krema we groma be atela e. Yeah, my respect was and was to respect picking and daughter every living till we dwell upon the surface of this earth. Yes, my name Black Rasta. I am your master called the UrbanBlend, running from now to the top of the Iowa tree. When I man set you free like a bird from out of the cage on a tree, I will give thanks and I says unto that name that is greater than every other name. I would mention of that name every knee of a bow in shame. Now it's a really beautiful day. It's a beautiful Wednesday, the 3rd day of September. I beg your pardon, December 2025. The 3rd of December 2025. It's been 337 days since the year began on the Gregorian calendar. Now we are left with just 28 days more to the end of the year. This is the 49th week of the year and the 49th Thursday of the year. Today is celebrated around the world as International Day of Persons with Disability. Now, International Day of Persons with Disability, or the International Day of People with Disability, has been promoted by the United Nations since 1992. Now, the aim of International Disability Day is to encourage a better understanding of people affected by disabilities and to help make people more aware of their rights, dignity, and welfare, as well as raise awareness about the benefits of integrating disabled persons into every aspect of life, from economic to political to social and cultural. Now, International Disability Day is not concerned exclusively with either mental or physical disabilities, but rather encompasses all known disabilities from autism to Down syndrome to multiple sclerosis. Now, celebrating this day also highlights the need for equal opportunities in education, employment, and healthcare. Now, it reminds us that we all benefit when society includes and supports everyone. Now, the aim is to ensure that everyone, regardless of disability or ability, can lead fulfilling lives and contribute to their communities. Today is also celebrated in America and some parts of the world as Let's Hug Day. Learn how to hug somebody. Hugging simply refers to love, and it signifies love in so many communities. Of course, with their consent, you hug them. You don't just go about hugging people, even without their consent. It could be harassment. Now, seek their consent if you could give them a hug. My brother, my sister, this hug could mean everything to them today. Today is Let's Hug Day. This is the UrbanBlend. And my name's certainly Black Rasta. At this point, I want to walk you through the 2.5 hours of this great journey of Pan-Africanism and consciousness. Now, right after this one, we jump into the segment known as a Taxi Jam, where we rock you with some quality reggae music non-stop. Oh gosh. Today being Wednesday, we're going to be doing some lovers music, man, okay? Right after that, we jump into the segment known as the Voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. 2 o'clock on the dot in the African history class today. We're going to be having an interview with, in fact, a professor from a university in America. He's been on this show before. Yes, Dr. Kwabena Buhari would be in the house, and we'll be talking, a lot of talking. We're going to be looking at something very important, and I need you to come along. It was the year of return. We're all excited. Today is called Dirty December. Dirty December. What is the meaning? What does it signify? What exactly is it? We'll look at the history and open it up, inside, out, up, and bottom. Make a date and don't be late with me, myself, and I, alongside Dr. Kwabena Buhari. My brother, my sister, this is the UrbanBlend. So my name Black Rasta. At 3 o'clock on the dot, we'll say bye-bye to you. At this point, I want to say thank you so much to my technicians on duty. Yes, love and respect to my social media team, and of course, love and respect to my producer, one Lord Asori Matanda. Alongside
this December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Saralac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928 *12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Saralac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Saralac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928 *12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Saralac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Saralac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928 *12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Saralac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want.
Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All-White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lucky.
I want you to be.
There's been deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All-White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lucky.
Here's what she said to me.
There's been deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to move, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December.
This is 3FM.
What lies ahead? Will we ever
Where's beyond deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to move, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December.
Your time, your full attention. Saralac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLat 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Saralac and brought to you by 3FM.
Golden Light, this is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Family 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
till the day she comes along.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
She's got a million things to do.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Family 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at a good park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Family 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at a good park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Family 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Family WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Kick back and just unwind.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp advice on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening FamilyLac 2025. A full Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial star 928 star 12 star 11 hash. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053 11 00927 or 053 220 0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac.
How you doing, Castro? Love and respect every time, man, can you do or no? This is 92.7 in Living Stereo. And Black Rasta control it like a nuclear. Tune in, man. My name Black Rasta, Ghana's #1. And this is the finale.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Atted. Black Rasta, none of them can stop Rasta. One of them a chat Rasta. Taxi driver show listeners right now. Tune in. Busy.
Well, Fire Mason can't wait. Feed them fly up the gate. Give me a slice of the cake. Black Rasta can't wait. Feed them fly up the gate. Positiveness me meditate. Yeah, you know it's Fire Mason representing. Yeah, and you're listening to Black Rasta, keeping it real. Stay focused. Told you.
Black Rasta, you are citizen vigilante. Are you run the whole Ghana? Black Rasta, social commentator. You come to liberate Mama Africa. Black Rasta, me say your thing mad. Or Sergeant for say that.
They are coming to trick your mind. Get your vote in kind. When they win, they say bye-bye. And when you're down, they pass you by. They are coming again. Why, election time. They will come and I see them coming. Trying to get my thumbprint. This is Sheriff Garland, I stay what? More fire.
3FM 92.7 3FM 92.7 3FM 92.7 3FM 92.7 3 FM. 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 92.7 3 FM.
What da danyo, what da dang dang. Hang go danyo. Oh, what da dang dang. This is the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Now here, we are not neutral, and we have never claimed to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we keep saying we are the headquarters of the truth. Now today we have a number of issues to look at, and I need you to come along. The very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana, wherever. It says, and I quote, government deliberately failed WASI students to avoid funding, no fees stress. And this is a man by name Jew, a legend. Now let me read. Now a member of the New Patriotic Party's communication team, Benjamin Jewapia, popularly known as Benghazi, has alleged that government deliberately orchestrated the mass failure recorded in the 2025 West African Senior Secondary Certificate Examination, WASI, to reduce the financial burden of the no-fee stress policy. According to him, statistics available to the Minister of Finance, Dr. Kesiela Tufosin, and the Ministry of Education, Haruna Idrisu, indicated that the number of senior high school graduates progressing to tertiary institutions had quadrupled. Speaking in an interview shared on social media, he claimed that a significant pass rate would increase the pressure on government to fund the first year tertiary free fees policy. Atuforsin and Minister of Education monitored the statistics and realized the students going to university from SHS had quadrupled. So if they pass all those children, it means government will get money. We won't get money to pay for the free fees for first year students. So they deliberately fail the children here. Like, they realize the government cannot pay for the no fee stress. They cannot fund it. What is the truth in what the gentleman here is saying? Jewapia. He said government irresponsibly decided to fail students. He did not say that government raised the bar so that only the fittest could make it to the university like in the days of old. They are two different things. Jewapia did not say that government raised the bar so that only the creme de la creme of the students would be able to skip that bar in order to enter university, as it's been in the days of old. The quality of education needs to improve. But he said, government intentionally failed some students, and this is an irresponsible act. What is the evidence? Did he provide evidence? How true is this statement? My brother, my sister, we all have heard about how the students complained about how difficult some of the papers were. If that is true, can we investigate this? Did they set questions outside the syllabus? We want to know. It is unfair to ask students to study in a certain area, aka the syllabus, and then you set questions outside that area. My brother, my sister, when I was going to school, we're used to these things. So we read outside the syllabuses too. We used to call that non-sylla. Non-sylla meant that you had finished studying everything in the syllabuses, and now you were studying outside, just in case you were surprised with non-sylla questions. This idea made a lot of students stand out. My brother, if you are told that the syllabuses had 10 topics to study, in my days we studied 21. More than 100% what was outside the syllabus. So when we went to write the examinations, we were ready for every stray bullet. And normally we were sad if the papers were so easy. We wanted the papers to be hard so that everyone would come out grinning. Everyone would come out with a mongoloid face, twisted towards 60 degrees to the left. My brother, my sister, in my days, we took education serious. My brother, my sister, can we investigate this? Did they set questions outside the syllabuses? If that is so, then those papers will need to be rewritten at the cost of WAEC. My brother, my sister, there must be an investigation. I do not believe in, government intentionally failed the students. Okay, so let there be evidence. Let the students start asking for remark. In my days, there was something like that. I don't know if that thing is still there. You can always ask for a remark. Oh, I know I did well in this subject. I know I wrote well. I want a neutral tutor, examiner to mark this. We did it. But to come out and say government intentionally failed students because of the budget, it sounds very irresponsible. Which government would intentionally kill its youth in order to hoard money? Which government would intentionally kill its people because it has no food to feed them? This allegation is more than just heavy. It sounds very irresponsible. Can we have an investigation? The next story I would like to look at is going to be very brief. And I need you to come along. I'm reading this from my Joy Online, and it says inflation falls for 11 straight months to 6.3% in November 2025. And this is Ghana Statistical Service. Wow. I read, Ghana's inflation rate has dropped for the 11th consecutive month, easing to 6.3% in November 2025 from 8.0% in October, according to the latest Consumer Price Index (CPI) report released by the Ghana Statistical Service. Now, the government statistician, Dr. Alassane Idrisu, who presented the data in Accra, said the decline was driven largely by reductions in both food and non-food inflation. Overall, prices went up by 0.9% between October and November 2025. Food inflation fell sharply to 6.6%, down from 9.5% in October, and non-food inflation also dropped to 6.1% from 6.9%, while inflation in the services sector eased to 3.8% from 4.6%. I'm happy about this. Reduction in inflation simply means that prices are going down. That's what it means. Simple. If there is a reduction in inflation, it means that prices are coming down. And you can also hazard a big guess and say that the economy is getting better. My brother, my sister, when was the last time you heard that an African country was experiencing low inflation? We always have higher inflation. In the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we had inflation rising to close to 30% or even higher. You go to the market and buy food for 10 cedis. You go home the following day, you like it. You go back there to buy, and the price has shifted from 10 cedis to 15 cedis. 50% inflation. My brother, my sister, I think the Mahama government is doing very well. I think that the country is becoming better. Today, when you have 100 Ghana cedis in your pocket, it's good money, isn't it? In the days when the Ghana cedi was almost becoming as worthless as a toilet paper, paper money was nothing. Today, my brother, my sister, you have some few cedis in your pocket, and the basket of goods and services that can buy is very, very laudable. Congrats to the Mahama government. Congrats to all the people who are making sure that our economy stands tight. The people who claimed they knew too much about the economy and knew too much economics, today they are campaigning that they still want to come into power after messing up and destroying our economy. Today, some of them are even shameless enough to tell us that, oh, it's because of the foundations we laid. That is why the economy is getting better. Come and take your foundations away and see if the economy will collapse or not. What foundations? What foundations? The e-levy, the cathedral, the irresponsible taxes slapped on our people. To the Mahama government, congratulations. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. My guest is already seated. He's been here about 30 minutes ago, my brother, my sister. And it's time now to go into the African historic. And we have been doing this from time immemorial. Dr. Gilbert Kwabena Buhari is in the house. All the way from the Columbia University. In New York City, the Big Apple. He is a Pan-African theologian, a lecturer and a researcher. Today we're going to have a very interesting conversation. And the topic for discussion today is very, very simple, but it is deep. From year of return to dirty December. What exactly are we talking about, my brother, my sister? We'll get into that in a bit. And my name's certainly Black Rasta, Ghana's #1, Africa's finest. What else can I say? What else can I do but to just welcome my guests into the studios? Doc, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, Black Rasta. How's it going?
It's going good, and I'm happy to have you again. Oh,
yes,
my God.
Yes. Last year, around this time, I remember I was here. We were critiquing foreign festivals that have infiltrated Ghana, and Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's funny, I think Thanksgiving was just last week. Black Friday was here. And while I was in one of the shops critiquing Black Friday and telling the registrar what was happening, the history behind it, she gave me a nice discount, a Black Friday discount. Wow. And in fact, I appreciated it. So you see, sometimes we have some small hypocrisy sometimes going. And it happens, but we are humans. So when we are doing this, it's not any self-righteous thing, but it's for the teaching, and hopefully we do better. And generations that are coming also baby papa.
We praise the Most High for this. Well, when we say you're a Pan-African theologian, what are we talking about? Walk us through it again.
Yeah. I mean, I love that question, because you would think that Pan-Africanism in general, you would think people have a good grasp of it. I've come to notice over the years that even our so-called Pan-Africanists, sometimes they don't really have a good grasp of Pan-Africanism, or even if they do, worst off, they kind of redefine what Pan-Africanism could mean, what liberation means. Pan-Africanism is an ideal, it's a movement, a cultural, political, intellectual, religio-cultural movement that stands on the premise that Africans on the continent, Africans in the diaspora have a common root, a common destiny, and therefore we can't fight our battles against white supremacy in isolation. We have to come together, reconcile, and in that sense, we have a better chance of overcoming the plagues of white supremacy. Right. Obviously, this stems from the horrible history of slavery and colonization.
So a Pan-African theologian is who?
In the past, Pan-Africanism has had more of a social-political, socio-economic aspect. You hear of Du Bois, you hear of Kwame Nkrumah, you hear of George Padmore, you hear of even Garvey and Haile Selassie and others who had more of a social-political, socio-economic standpoint as it relates to Pan-Africanism.
Right.
There was no real cultural or spiritual aspects of it. What Pan-African theology does is insert God into the conversation. Gives a theological emphasis to Pan-Africanism, saying not only do we have political and economic aspirations and for liberation, but there's also some real spiritual possibilities, theological possibilities as it relates to liberation, and in that sense, salvation, which is a communal gathering of all of our people coming together to focus on liberation.
Interesting. Now, did you have a hand in the year of return, and what exactly was the role you played?
Yeah, I had, it was interesting. I think that in the beginning, obviously Pan-Africanism has always been an ideal that has stemmed from during slavery times. First generation slaves that went into America, 1619. I want you to remember that date, 1619, and enslaved Africans that were in the Caribbean even before then. They always had a kind of Pan-African ideal to return, to come back home. And so Pan-Africanism as an idea has always existed. There's been Pan-African legends, as I've mentioned, heroes, Du Bois and Nkrumah and others. So there's been so many ancestors that have paved the way towards something like the year of return.
Right.
And so we played a small role coming from Columbia University, being in New York, so many Pan-African milestones started to happen, especially during 2015, when the United Nations declared the 2015 to 2025 being the International Decade for People of African Descent. They started asking for agendas, Pan-African agendas, certain things that can come during this decade that we can use to kind of steer the Pan-African spirit and bring about a Pan-African renaissance. And then we had, interestingly enough, we had things that led to it, like President Obama's election, 2008, that kind of gave an African conscience. He came to Ghana. One of his first visits as a president, international visits, was coming to Ghana. I remember, during that time, 2008, I believe, it was very controversial. I mean, United States had just elected their first black president, he's already in Ghana, talking about how he felt it was important to come to Ghana, and be on the shores of Cape Coast and see that this is where the diasporic journey began. And so, just putting things into perspective of how far we have come. He felt he needed to come to Ghana. Ghana, of course, we know, has had a strong history with slavery. Almost 70% of the slave forts were in Ghana during the Atlantic slave trade. Most people don't know that, even if you came from Africa, at any part in Africa, you almost had to come through Ghana in order to get to the quote-unquote New World. So, this is why we have the motto of Ghana, the gateway into Africa, because it was literally the gateway out of Africa.
Out of Africa,
And so, there's just so much history in Nkrumah, one of the greatest Pan-Africanists of our time, who really established Ghana almost as a Pan-African nation. Which almost there was some critique with that, because of course Ghana is for Ghanaians. And so when he's up and he's talking about independence, and our independence means nothing if the liberation of Africa, not just on the continent and in the diaspora as well, doesn't happen. And so, Nkrumah gives us, our spiritual father gives Ghana a mandate, a responsibility towards the diasporans. And so we adopt the Black Star on our flag, representing the Marcus Garvey Black Star movement to come back home. And so, of course, these are all controversies, political controversies that Nkrumah had to deal with. But I mention all this just to place Ghana in a space where we've always been the vanguard of Pan-Africanism. And so for me, I've always had that understanding coming from Cape Coast myself, right? And then going to, school, understanding African history classes, African American history classes, taking all these courses, coming to, being taught by some of the great scholars, as you know, in Columbia University, Cornel West, Dr. Cone, and others, them letting me know back in 2013 that it was time that, we did something from a Pan-African perspective. Panafest, as you know, the Pan-African Historical Festival of Ghana, was created in 1992 under our great J.J. Rollins, who was also one of the greatest Pan-Africanists of our time. He took Nkrumah's Pan-African consciousness and instilled it in the Constitution of Ghana with the rights of abode, which I believe at the time Ghana was the only African country that had this placed in the Constitution as rights that were extended to descendants of the Atlantic slave trade. And so they had dual citizen rights and certain rights that existed within the Constitution of Ghana. And so when Panafest came, it had its heyday. NDC as a party kind of stood on the Pan-African ideals, kind of pushed the Pan-African agenda with Panafest. And then we kind of saw a little decline as soon as, government switched up. Of course, not any fault of the government. Obviously, there are two different ideals. NPP with the election of President Kufuor came in. And of course, NPP has always been more about Ghanaians in the diaspora, Ghanaians on the continent. Never really had a Pan-African agenda. And so you saw a little decline in Pan-African festivities, especially with Panafest and others. So when I came in 2013, I knew that there was a platform that already existed that we can use. And I met with Pan-African, Panafest leaders and other Pan-African leaders to government officials to see what the possibilities were for a kind of spiritual pilgrimage.
Right.
And at that time, I had 2020 in mind. 2020 was just, the year 2020, just the allure of it, or was something that I felt maybe something was going to happen, and maybe we should do something and use that year.
Yes.
We did a couple of proposals. I wrote a couple of proposals. I themed it Panafest Vision 2020. At that time, I was given the appointment letter by the Panafest officials and leaders under the auspices of the African Union to kind of mobilize. And at that time, the idea was a spiritual pilgrimage. It was to mobilize religious and spiritual groups and leaders, of course, get the schools and others involved, activists involved, to see if we can establish Ghana once and for all as the spiritual home for all black people, a sort of Mecca. Whilst Muslims are going to Saudi Arabia and Mecca, or, whilst Rastas, even some of our Rastas going, at that time, 2012, I went to Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, right.
It was at Ethiopia, Shashamani, being with the Rastas and others, that they were telling me more about Ghana.
Right.
And how, we should look into Ghana as a place that actually has some real spiritual significance. And so all of these things were happening. I was given the appointment letter in 2016. And I started getting to work. In 2017, however, at this time, there was a lot of things happening.
Right.
In terms of, it was almost biblical in a lot of ways. You had a transition.
This is 3FM.
Where after Obama comes to Ghana in 2008 and declares Ghana as being just as important, and wrestling with this notion that why is Ghana so important? You see the transition from Obama to President Trump, almost, represented at that time a kind of going back to a kind of white supremacist ideology in America. We just had a black president, and now all of a sudden we had, in that transition, the killings of black people by the police brutality, almost every day, vividly. It was almost like they were sending a message to black people, similar to what the pharaohs or the Egyptians did to Israelites who were also enslaved in Egypt, and at the time when they were getting great in number and thought that they were gaining some sort of power. In Egypt, the pharaoh decided, let's kill all the male-borns, the first male-borns, and kind of remind them of their place. And that's sort of what was happening with, the diasporans, especially African Americans at the time. You see that transition with Trump. So Trump represented a kind of white supremacist ideology. And so it was weird when, during all this time, we had a transition of President Mahama, who just before he left office, around that same time, gave, I believe, like 30 to 36 diasporans dual citizenship. Some diasporans who had been in this country for over 30 years and hadn't received their dual citizenship. Mahama, with his Pan-African vision, kind of laid the groundwork just before he left.
Right.
And then in 2017, you see the transition and back to a kind of MPP movement. But Trump did something that was interesting. He signed a HR 1242 bill, which commended and recognized the 1619 to 2019, those years being the 400 years since the first enslaved Africans came to America. And this was really interesting. I mean, why would Trump, this guy that represents this kind of white supremacist ideology, why would he sign a bill acknowledging 400 years since the first enslaved African came to?
What was the bill about anyway?
The bill was a U.S. HR 1242 bill. It was championed by the Congressional Black Caucus in America, by representatives like Shirley Jackson, John Lewis, both of them are passed away. But they were great giants who wanted to, for some reason, acknowledge that this had some biblical significance. There was no other significance in 400 years to commemorate that year other than the 400 years of the Israelites being in Egypt for 400 years and then finally being set free after 400 years out of their oppression. And so this was sort of synonymous with this bill. And that's why it was so weird why Trump, of all people, would sign it. And this kind of catapulted a kind of what are Ghanaians, what are Africans, what are diasporans going to do about this? And now
so that bill specifically, was it just for recognition?
Just for recognition. It was just a commemoration of the 16th, and it also, as the UN Declaration did, also asked for Pan-African festivities and agendas. What can we come up with to commemorate these years and commemorate these things? So now it's on us Pan-Africanists to really come up with events and agendas and certain things with substance that could commemorate these great historical, unprecedented declarations. And so at that time, I was at Columbia University. I was in New York in the headquarters of the United Nations. These conversations were heavy. I already had my appointment letter, and so it was quite easy for me to give this proposal. But when these declarations came, it kind of got bigger than just the proposal that I had given. Obviously, there was more opportunities.
Right.
And once government kind of took a hand over it, even though they weren't necessarily Pan-Africanists, they saw the opportunity that, especially as it related to tourism, to Ghana. And so during all these proposals and all these things happening, the Black Panther movie, we can never forget about that, was monumental and key in 2018. That kind of gave this black pride, an African pride, had diasporans now looking to Africa and saying, let's see what Africa really has to offer us.
True.
Maybe we can have a Wakanda-like aspiration. And so by the time the government saw these things, at that time, MPP, they may not have been Pan-African in consciousness, but they definitely in convenience in terms of how to approach this and take advantage of this. I just heard you talk about, the SHS and some of the failures in that thing, but, it's funny that rounds we can say President Akufo-Addo may not have been a Pan-Africanist at heart. He probably would go down as one of the great Pan-Africanists, ironically, because of circumstance and some of the things that he did, especially in his first term. As it relates to Pan-Africanism, we launched, there were some great people involved that launched the Year of Return. They sort of, took some of the proposal that we did, but then it was relegated. The spiritual side was relegated. I was told that I should open my own foundation and organization and deal with religion and spiritual people because they didn't want to touch on any kind of religious or spiritual aspects.
Wow.
And so this is how the God Box Foundation actually came about. We had many people that were involved, very great individuals that did a lot of amazing things.
What a spiritual aspect you included in your proposal?
I love that question. Yeah, so we've always had a prophecy and promise as it relates to what it would mean for Africans in the diaspora to reconcile. Our notion of liberation, again, has always had a more depth than just freedom. And so as we're talking about Deti December, that's freedom. But liberation means more than freedom. It's a spiritual liberation, and that's why it moves from liberation to salvation. It's something internal where we have a lot of voids of self as it relates to white supremacy and the effects of white supremacy, self-hatred, and so what the spiritual aspect does is give us a self-affirmation that we are the imago Dei, in the image of God. We as black people can find ourselves in that image. And so it's a spiritual liberation.
So what kind of activities were you looking at for the spiritual side?
So
going around pouring libation?
Oh yeah, no, you see, before we even got to that, it was important to address some of the mutual suspicion that existed between Africans and Africans in the diaspora in relation to our own traditions and cultures like libation and the shrine and all these things that diasporans, especially from the Abrahamic traditions, were very suspect of. And even the whole year of return and all these things. So we had to address certain things like repentance and forgiveness. Repentance, if we're talking about the spiritual aspects, we had to, whether we like it or not, there's a narrative that exists between, especially in America, as it relates to our involvement as Africans, Ghanaians, in the slave trade. Many theologians might call that Africa's original sin of being involved with slavery. Right? And so the confession, the repentance, even whilst we launched the year of return, this was the question, was you could see that there was still some deep mutual suspicion, some deep anger, some deep sadness that still existed amongst diasporans. I myself, as I was going through this mobilizing and gathering God's people, I went to a Passover in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and there was thousands of Hebrews that were there. And I asked, I'm from Cape Coast. I come from one of the royal families, Anuna family in Cape Coast. And I remember asking Normahin and others if I could make a suggestion to apologize, because I realized that in our conversations here on the ground in Ghana, a lot of us didn't want to take that responsibility because with that guilt comes responsibility. And so people didn't want to take on that, especially chiefs, queen mothers, other government officials. So I went to this Passover and I apologized on behalf of our family in Cape Coast and some of the things that I've heard us partake in. And it was amazing to see that little old me standing there in front of thousands of Hebrews at the Passover in Louisiana. I say this and they all stand up and begin to cry.
Wow.
Clapping.
Wow.
This was something that I realized, wow, this thing really means something to these people.
Wow.
This is not just some sort of, year of return, let's do tourism. There was a disconnect between the idea of tourism and commercializing the year of return and the call. And with this spiritual journey that diasporans, especially African Americans and those from the Caribbean, were actually how they interpreted this call. And so when I saw that, that's when we realized, okay, this is something that's real and we have to address it. So some of those spiritual things that we were doing in terms of discussions on what it means, not just for coming to Ghana but also there's political and cultural and economic possibility. If we say we should come and we're apologizing, how do we give substance to it? Is it just them coming? And that's what ended up happening.
Yes.
You had many people. 2019, we saw an unprecedented, almost 2 million diasporans from the diaspora in America, celebrities of all kinds, all kind of people that came. Initially, when we did the proposal, they said it couldn't be done. But the time was ripe, and everything is about timing. And of course, we had the things that we needed to get the people out of their comfort zone with Trump. And we used certain biblical themes like Trump blowing the trumpet. It's time to come home. Moses, Ghana representing Moses, let my people go, coming out with great substance, come home. And so we were battling, whilst we were doing the religious and spiritual aspects of things, we were battling our own people and leaders who were more focused on the commercializing and the tourism aspect of making money and exploiting this thing that was very sacred to diasporans and Pan-African theologians. And so this is what kind of gives the premise to the year of return. And when you have thousands and thousands of people that are coming into this country, happy to come. At that time, if you were black and you didn't come to Ghana, you weren't black.
Yes.
You celebrities were coming, they had to validate their blackness by coming to Ghana. It was such a huge deal.
Yes.
And you could see that, maybe 50 years from 100 years from now, people will look back at the year of return and remember that was the paradigm shift that really bridged the gap between Africans, African Americans, and those in the diaspora. But when you have millions of thousands of people coming in, and they don't have anything to do, they get here, and so this kind of falls in their lap, and we're kind of struggling and wrestling with what to do with all these people that are coming in. And so when you don't have anything to do and you're idle, what do you end up doing?
This is 3
Partying.
FM.
Now, December, as we're talking about, December has always been, Black Rasta, you know, something that if you're a Ghanaian and you're in the diaspora or you went to school in Ghana.
I would like to look at the year of return a little bit before we get to December.
Okay, sure.
Now, when you look at the year of return, do you think that those who came and went back, the initial fulfillment, is this still with them?
Those who came and went back?
Yes.
It depends on the groups that came in. Some came in, as I was saying, and they weren't Pan-Africanists. They heard about Ghana and Ghana calling and sort of seeing what the opportunities were. Some of them came in and would go pass right by the Cape Coast castles, the slave dungeons, and go all the way to our Queen Mothers, our traditional people, the pride that they get from that and how liberating that is. And so Ghana, especially the government at that time, whilst they were focused on tourism, which was what they believed was the exploitation, what we stood on, the premise of us calling the people, was based on the fact that Pan-Africanism is real. We have a real opportunity to come together and in that sense gain economic, cultural, and spiritual liberation.
Okay, so I would like us to go a little back and look at this. I mean, the movement to Africa movement. The Back to Africa movement was basically about bringing Africans home.
The idea was to get folks to begin to change their mindset. That's how we wanted to begin, was change the mindset of themselves, the self-hatred that they had for themselves, and really the hatred that underliningly they had for Africa. And some of the narrative, the idea was to change the narrative. And so come to Ghana. Right. Come and see your heritage. Come and see your culture. We embrace you. We go against the notion that Africans don't like African Americans, or in the diaspora, or diasporans don't like Africans. There's this heavy mutual suspicion that existed between the two people. And so the year of return first was about we talk a lot about each other, but we don't talk to each other. Come home. Let's create Ghana as a platform, a safe platform for people to be able to come home and really let's have dialogue amongst ourselves for once, rather than always having dialogues in isolation and never really understanding each other, understanding the experiences of each other, which are very unique. Colonization is a unique experience for Africans. Slavery is a unique experience for diasporans in Africa. And we don't do enough of talking to each other. So the year of return was based on that premise first. Now, of course, the goal eventually, as it starts from mentally and spiritually, is to manifest physically. And so once you come home and you start to, you always, as you know from story, you have to see somewhere, visit somewhere before you possess certain things. And so the idea was for them to come, see what we have to offer in Ghana, in Africa, and then for them to see that this too can be offered to them with the right mindset. Unfortunately, what happened, again, as I said, with the year of return was one government had commercialized it. We sort of lost the spiritual guidance that was going to kind of manifest mentally, and then it became a tourism kind of exploitation where not enough programs were done so that we can have the dialogues, so that we can understand each other better. Instead, people were just coming and, of course, partying, because that's all that was there to do. And this exactly, as you know, is some of what has kind of catapulted to our what has been relegated to Dirty December.
Interesting. Interesting. So my guest is Dr. Gilbert Kwabena-Bohari from the Columbia University, New York, right there in America. And we're having a beautiful conversation from the year of return to Dirty December. And of course, the year of return was supposed to have the diasporans come into the country and be domiciled right here. That was the initial perspective. At the end of the day, did we succeed? Did we not succeed? Now did the year of return become Dirty December?
It's definitely, some things led to that happening. as I said, one is leadership. Leadership at the time, as I said, weren't necessarily Pan-Africanists.
Right.
But yet this came in, fell in their lap. They saw the opportunity, and they took advantage of that, and rightfully so. They marketed it well, and it became a commercialized thing of coming to Ghana and having entertainment all throughout the year. Again, as I said, God, our religious and spiritual emphasis in the beginning of this kind of was regulated to a very small part. Panafest, which was in July, may have had a small part in bringing some sort of substance, but that was just a few days, 10 days. For the most part, it was all partying. Celebrities coming in, people coming in, partying, having fun. And so I can say that the year of return ended up, because of some of the leadership, some of the guidance that was not there, some of the substance that did not exist, because we didn't have a real good grasp of what Pan-Africanism at its core should mean. And the idea was that, just black people all over the world just come together. It kind of led to the makings of Dirty December, which, as I said, December always existed. For us Ghanaians, it was for us. It wasn't a Pan-African thing.
Right.
It was Ghanaians coming to Ghana to enjoy ourselves.
Right.
And so what the Year of Return kind of did was it kind of globalized what we were already doing in December, and added a Pan-African perspective to it, but also we lost, again, the spiritual aspect. And again, this is not to critique Dirty December in a way. There's always partying and enjoying ourselves is also part of our own African traditions and spirituality, but when we don't have real guidance, spiritual guidance, and then all of a sudden what was meant, Ghana being meant to be a spiritual home for all black people ends up becoming the party home for all black people in December.
Are you a fan of Dirty December?
Those who know me can tell you since 2019, I have not. This is the first time I've been in Ghana in December. Only because, as I said in the beginning, we all have some blame. We all enjoy ourselves. Nobody enjoys themselves more than me. But not at the expense of losing the spiritual guidance and the kind of religious cultural importance to what Pan-Africanism should mean, especially in Ghana, that has an opportunity and has always been the beacon on the vanguard of Pan-Africanism. So we have a greater responsibility. And so for me personally, this is the first time that, and this is why I felt this was necessary to really speak on, to be in Ghana in December, and not only see or enjoy some of these festivities, I'm sure I will, but as I said, also we're a light to the darkness. Whilst we're here, we have to make sure that we speak the truth to power, and we give the truth, and hopefully we can do better. And I believe in this new government that we see already with some of our directors and some of the Diaspora Affairs Office and others who have already intentionally, I believe we have a Diaspora Conference coming up in the middle of Dirty December. That was intentional to bring some sort of substance to the festivities, so that it's not just party.
This is 3FM.
Word, sound, and power is something that Rasta believes in so much. Now we have something that is called dirty. Even though it is spelled differently, it sounds the same way as that in that is dirty. Seeing? Why do you think the organizers of this, is it a national event or is it a private event? And why is it called dirty? Do you know?
That's a controversial one. There are so many. I have my own theories. There's an agenda. There's always an agenda, Black Rasta, you know this. The same way we say there's a saying, never lose the opportunity to make use of something chaotic, something that's going on.
This is 3FM.
A crisis, as they would say. And I believe that, when Ghana, you had almost 2 million people coming into Ghana, unprecedented. That scared a lot of people. That scared a lot of people who understood what Pan-Africanism could mean. what liberation, because our liberation is the destruction of others. And we have to remember that. It's not just there's a reason why they keep their foot on the pedal, on our necks. And so our liberation also is the destruction of others. And so how do we corrupt what is happening? And so what your question, as it pertains to Dirty December.
Right.
As I said, we were celebrating December. We never named it. It was always something that we did. And so then we saw the government, NPP, during the year of return, sort of signed certain contracts and partnerships with certain groups, entertainment groups that were bringing certain festivals, whether it was Afrochella, Afro Nation, all these things. Again, kind of everything kind of shifting towards, a kind of partying and music and concerts and all these things. And during these things, you can see that a lot of things are being perpetrated in the middle of these things. And so, as you said, with Dirty December, there's an agenda. A lot of people started coming in with their own agenda. We've always known, I believe a couple years ago, we spoke about some of the agendas as it relates to LGBTQ communities, Ghana being forced to do certain things under Atta Mills and all of that. I believe you remember all these things.
I do.
And so these agendas have never gone away. These are things that are being used. And so Dirty December has a different vibe to it now.
Yeah. I mean, when you travel to Guyana, a country that I've been to, they have what is known as the Ghana Day. They celebrate Ghana's independence. And we have said this over and over on this show. Now, in Guyana, on the 6th of March, every year, people come out on the street. They wear Ghanaian fabrics. They try to eat Ghanaian food and even speak a few words of Ghanaian languages, especially Twi. Now, we have what is known as Dirty December. Nobody is encouraged to wear African fabrics. Nobody comes out to honor our ancestors in any way. It is just like any other ordinary party with no vision. I am surprised how the year of return gave birth to Dirty December. Is it an agenda or is it just over commercialization of our product? And I've even heard government officials, people like KOD and somebody like Rex Omar and the rest of them, making reference to Dirty December. Is the name not derogatory enough for something that has a certain national phase? Or is it private? How did it become so popular to overtaking and overshadowing our very big year of return?
Yes.
Or the year of return that they renamed Beyond the Return is what is now called Dirty December.
Yeah.
What are the authorities doing? I mean, it will be unfortunate for me to pose the question to you because you're not a government official. But what are your thoughts? I mean...
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Again, as I said, I think a lot of it happened by circumstance, again, with leadership at the time. That didn't really have a good grasp of what to do with all this kind of Pan-African renaissance. I believe Akufo-Addo himself said that President Akufo-Addo himself said that he was actually surprised that there was such a response.
Yeah.
And again, you can understand that because he's never dabbled within that kind of Pan-African history.
Right.
And so when you have leaders that were there, they did the best they could. But again, when there's no substance and you don't have real leadership that's guiding it.
No substance. Did you hear that? The substance was totally gone.
There's no substance whatsoever. And we spoke about these things all throughout the year. Some of us that were true Pan-Africanists were complaining about how we have all this opportunity, celebrities coming in and leaving just like that.
Just like that.
People that were coming, that will not even visit any kind of heritage site, any kind of substantial site, come party, chill, do whatever they want to do, drink, have fun, and then leave. And so when you have that going and there's no real guidance and you have some of the gatekeepers who, a lot of them too may be a little outdated in some of their approaches, their Pan-Africanists, but like I said, not understanding the zeitgeist, the spirit of our times, and what needs to be done to improvise. Because if you're not improvising and moving with the times, you're dying. And so even the leadership, I would say,
3FM.
both not just from a government level, but also from some of the Pan-African leaders as well, some of the gatekeepers that were in place that really didn't have the substance that was necessary, and yet still had the power to facilitate what was going on. And so then all of a sudden it's left to people to come and fill in the gaps.
Right.
And everybody's going to come in and exploit to try and make money. And that's what it became. It became a money grabbing thing, even with something as sacred as dual citizenship that we were giving. Started with Muhammad as a kind of understanding of what this meant, and then all of a sudden, you know, with Akufo-Addo, who also kind of outdid President Muhammad in some ways, but then again, the source of it, the motivation of it, was a little different from that. It was more about kind of the economic opportunities that were coming from it. And so when you have these type of things happening, of course, things will get distorted, and then we lose kind of perspective, and then now you have something where now the year of return, Pan-Africanism, and all these things are now being relegated to 1 month of Dirty December, and as you said, with a very distorted orientation behind it, which actually suggests to come and be and do, excuse me to say, fuckery things while we're in gun. That's the whole point. Yeah. And really things that celebrities and others couldn't do in America anymore, can't do anymore, as you know, with some of the things that are coming out. They are coming to Ghana and coming to do it. And the mountains and all these things under these parties and all these things. And so this is really a call for awareness. Again, a lot of us will be involved in some of these festivities, but we are here to make sure that we don't lose the substance of what this is all about. And as you said, we have a new government. It has a Pan-African agenda with the Black Star Experience. The Beyond the Return was done launched in December, to realizing that we kind of missed the mark and the opportunities that we could have done if we had real leadership. But then 2020 happened. The COVID came in 2020 and kind of stopped the momentum of the year of return and Beyond the Return. People were afraid to travel for almost 2 years, until like 2021, 2022, that we started seeing people. But by that time, people had already filled the gap with entertainment and these kind of festivities that really didn't have any real substance to Pan-Africanism. And this is why we have Dirty December.
Well, so Dirty December is here, and it's clouded totally what originally was supposed to be a spiritual pilgrimage to the homeland, the beautiful beacon of Pan-Africanism, Ghana. Now the only way, and this is free consultancy, the same way we gave to them when they were going to begin this thing called the Year of Return. The only other way we can have people troop into this country again in the spirit of Kwame Nkrumah is the Year of the Ancestors. And this time round, make it spiritual, give it the substance that it deserves, and have events that are meaningful and sensible. So that people would not just be coming here to show nakedness and do all sorts of things that you call dirty, so that our ancestors can embrace them. When people were coming into the country, they were happy to come and meet with the spirit of the ancestors.
Absolutely.
Only for the ancestors to be relegated to the background. And nudity became the order of the day. Commercialization and all those things. You see, as it stands right now, that is probably one of the ways we can have the people back into this country so that some substance can be given to the people.
Absolutely.
Dr. Gilbert Kobna Bohari is my guest. I'm going to pose the last question and we are done for the day. We have just about 5 minutes more to go. How do we get our people to embrace the diasporians who are coming to the country? I mean, we had a lot of complaints, exploitation, stealing, and so on and so forth. How do we get our people, and when I say our people, the indigenes, the Ghanaians, embrace and accept people coming from the diaspora? Should we have the Year of the Ancestors?
Absolutely. Yaya Samo. but it's a deep question, and it's a reality. As I said, the mutual suspicion is real. What the year of return did, as we critique it, the positive side of the year of return is it definitely bridged the gap. Whether we like it or not, Ghanaians, whether we like it or not, diasporans are coming in.
Right.
They're coming in their numbers.
This is 3FM.
We wish that it wasn't just about them coming in, but how they are coming in.
Right.
What the mentality that they have as they're coming in. That was some of what we discussed with the foreign festivities. Also, we understand from a Ghanaian perspective that we need to understand that Ghana as a country, whether we like it or not, is mandated through our constitution to have responsibilities towards children in the diaspora.
Right.
And so it is our responsibility when we were seeing Panafest as, AJ, Nyen Festival, American Full One Festival, Brofun One Festival, and all those type of things. Rather than having that mindset, we need to join into these kind of Pan-African festivities. When you are going to Cape Coast Castle, it's not just for the Abrofo. You yourself, even though in our own, I went to school, class 4, Achimota, all these things. I never knew that the Black Star stood for the Marcus Garvey movement until I went to college in America. In Ghana, they teach us the Black Star stands for hope, and they don't go further than that. And so it's up to us to kind of self-educate ourselves, recognize that our story, it's us that it was done to. It's not an us versus them thing. Diasporans are not separate from us.
Right.
It was us that was taken.
Big point.
Away. And so this notion that it's a us versus them thing, this is us, and we need to understand our story doesn't end at the shores of Cape Coast and some of these places. Our story, this is part of our own story, the Ghanaian story. It is part of our history.
Right.
The diasporan story in the Americas is part of our history as Ghanaians. And so in order to enter into each other's experiences and have a better understanding of each other so that the mutual suspicion, we can heal from and cure ourselves from that. And as I said, there's a lot of healing that must be done on both sides. There is a lot of skepticism, there's a lot of trauma that has existed with diasporans coming in, and sometimes we might feel that. But it's our job to have the empathy, the sympathy, and the understanding of what they have gone through, how it's different from our agenda. Actually, we need more of their rage and anger that they have towards white supremacy. And then they also need from us more perspective on how to deal with some of these things and act as a collectively empower. I think we can do that, and especially under this government, I believe we have some of the right leaders who are open to broadening the conversation and seeing how we can combat some of these things that are happening in destruction.
Beautiful, Dr. Gilbert Kobna-Bohari. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you. And of course, you out there, we have what is known as the Office of the Patriot, where we are getting to catch them young so that we would educate them on the paths of Pan-Africanism and patriotism. It's only through this kind of education that we'll be able to embrace our history properly. Dr. Gilbert Kobna-Bohari, all the way from the Columbia University, New York. Oh my God. Thank you so much for talking to us. We appreciate you. Oh my God. So my name Black Rasta, time now to say bye-bye to you. Oh my God. For coming along. I will catch you again tomorrow between 12:30 and 3. On behalf of my guest, Dr. Gilbert Kobna-Bohari, and my producer, One Lord, sorry but Thunder, Tuan Sandra, doing my socials for today, and the whole team, my technicians on duty. My name Black Rasta. with the Ethiopian greetings of our Amharic. Salam Nacho!